ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 14, verse number 31. So in the previous verses of this chapter we studied description of Bhakti Yoga in response to Uddhava's question that which is the superior path, and Krishna described path of devotion to him. He also described how it purifies the heart and also gave instruction what to avoid so that something does not become an obstacle on one's path to bhakti. So now Uddhava asks about meditation. Purushottam Prabhu.
I just came across this verse on first canto, and where Jiva Goswami writes this in Tika, which I will read it. Yosit Sangadapi Yosit Sanginam Sango Yatha Ati Nindya Ukta Tatha Eva Bhagvat Sangadapi Bhagvat Sanginam Sango Api Sango Ati Vandya Ati Prasasya Iti Abhilasaniya. So I thought it is a good comparison he made here.
Yes, anyway, Bhagavad Sangha is not available.
Yes,
Yes,
that is true, but
yes,
still,
its Sangha is very much available. Freely. Vilas.
Hello, Babaji. I also have a question on this topic. So yesterday I heard you translate Yoshit Sangi as someone who is associating with women. And I think in previous classes I remember having heard that it could mean someone who's attached to women.
Yeah,
So
associating means attached. If you are not attached, how does it matter? Because
I wanted to ask about this, yeah.
Because we said that why it is worse, because the person is going to talk about it. When you are attached to something, you like something, you speak about that, isn't it? You join spiritual society, then you want to preach to your family people immediately, and that is the first thing you do. So same thing, if you are attached to woman, you meet somebody, you want to talk about it. It's just a human nature. So problem is with attachment, not with the Vishaya. Always remember that Vishaya is not a problem. Problem is Vishaya Sangha. Sangha means attachment. Sangat sanjayate kama. So that Sangha is not just being with something. This is half of the population is with women or men, 50-50 at least, more or less. So how will you avoid? Take birth from women only. So problem is not the Vishaya, problem is the attachment to the Vishaya. So that's what is the point to be made. Otherwise people start attacking women. It's very much seen, the sannyasis always criticizing women. So that is another type of attachment. Because dvesha is also type of attachment. So dvesha, raga, they both cause trouble. So that's why Krishna says rag dvesha vyuktastu vishyan indriyescharan. That when you become free from rag and dvesha, then vishyan charan, you can be in the midst of vishaya. It doesn't bother. Because what troubles is, what captures your mind is attachment. Positive attachment or negative attachment. Negative also triggers, right? Trigger. Then for hours you are disturbed. Sometimes positively you may not be disturbed that much as you are disturbed negatively. So mind runs in those two grooves, raga and dvesha. So that is the trouble for the mind. That is the anartha. Sandeep.
So basically attachment is same as asakti.
That's the Sanskrit word.
So but it is also advised that some sort of asakti you should have, otherwise you cannot cooperate in any relationship, etc. Whatever you will come across some relatives, some friends, some acquaintances. If you don't have any asakti, then how do you operate?
How do you operate in the office? You have asakti to your boss?
Not exactly.
Or your junior has asakti for you?
No, I don't think so.
but you're operating better than family. So
basically,
asakti is not necessary. Vilas, you have something more to say?
Yes, I have another question. Also, in yesterday's class, I heard that we're all looking for love and
Asakti.
So this reminded me of a discussion I heard on empathy, where it was pointed out that when we say that, I'm looking for empathy, I want to have more empathy, it usually means I want others to be more empathetic for me and see, my troubles, my struggles, etc. And not necessarily that I would like to be more empathetic and I would like to see the troubles of, for example, of those who annoy me so much. And I was wondering whether this is the same with love also, that when we say that I'm looking for love, that actually I'm looking for being loved by someone else and being served by someone else, and not so much that I want to feel love and be loving to others.
Yeah, that's very much true. Because this is how you're programmed from your childhood. When you were born, you didn't know anything about love, to love others, but you were loved. So your first experience is of being loved by the mother. And therefore for the rest of your life is such that in the name of love. Because if you simply say, I'm looking for love, please love me, nobody is going to come to you. Say, oh, I love you. So it's a trap. You throw the net. Everybody is doing that. But actually what we are looking is that somebody should love me, and that's why you try to express yourself as lovable, not as a lover. And if you are trying to express yourself as a lover also, that is also so that you can hook somebody to love you. That's the underlying current of love. So life runs on this only. It's a big show. In Hindi they call it Shoshagiri. Right? So this is what it is. Okay, anything else?
Yes, so follow up on this is, so why is it then, could you please explain why then sadhana bhakti is the solution that satisfies this need to be loved, when it is actually to practice love for someone else?
Yes, because this love and that love are different. This is just a reflection, or you can say material aspect of that. The real satisfaction of Atma cannot come from this. Even if somebody loves you materially, still you are not satisfied. Because real thing is that the inner need of the Atma is to be in a loving relationship with Krishna, because we are part of him. So all these things come because of avidya, ignorance of our true self. We identify with the physical body, which is anadi avidya, and then these things come like that. So when I'm giving this explanation, I'm giving on the basis of how we are at present in the avidya state. But this also doesn't satisfy you. No matter how much people can love you, you also want to love. That is also there. That is our innermost drive. But as I said, that we are basically confused what we want, Do we want to love somebody, or we want to get loved? And then our love, the word love is used in so many ways. Love is used in the form of attachment, liking, something like that. Total confusion. So no clarity what really I want. So mostly we are just floating in some kind of what you will say, the incomplete understanding, confused state of mind. So therefore we keep on hopping from one thing to another because of this not being clear. So our real solution lies here. So that is how Bhagavatam begins. Bruhina Shraddhadananam Yena Atma Samprasidati. This is only this question is asked in Bhagavatam. Only. The Bhagavatam is giving the answer to that. Everywhere else they talk about moksha. Moksha means not having trouble. So it's just solving the trouble, but not actually giving you something which will fulfill you. Bhagavatam teaches you which fulfills you, and of course the trouble is removed as a side effect of that. That's why we say that bhakti gives you moksha as a side effect. We don't need it. We are not asking for it. It will come like a shadow comes with an object. So that's why it is the Pancham Purushartha, beyond moksha. But it's difficult for us to have Shraddha in it because of, again, mind steeped so much in avidya. So difficult to hold on to this idea. So we again fall back into our confused desires. Okay? Anything else? So Uddhava asks a question now. Uddhava Vacha. Yatha tvam arvindaksha yadrisham va yadatmakam dhyayen mumukshura tanme dhyanam tvam vaktumarhasi. He said that, O lotus-eyed one, please describe to me the way a mumukshu, one who is desiring moksha, meditates, and what is the object of his meditation, what is the characteristic of the object to be meditated upon. So you please describe this meditation to me. So in this sloka, in the second half, he says, Dhyayet mumukshu retan me vaktumarhasi, that it behooves you to tell me this. But then another word comes, Tvam vaktumarhasi, Dhyanam tvam vaktumarhasi. So there's a different reading. That's how Chakravarti Pada writes that Dhyanam me vaktumarhasi. That on what I should meditate, you please tell that. But the popular reading at present is Tvam vaktumarhasi. So that also he will speak. So he says, Bhaktim vina kimapi sadhyam na siddhyati. So this is the common theme of Bhagavatam very clearly. This is another characteristic of Bhagavatam, that this is not said in other scriptures so clearly. Even if it is stated, it is mixed and not seen. So he says, Bhaktim vina kimapi sadhyam na siddhyati. Without bhakti, no process works. Iti Bhagavad Vakyat Nishchitya Sarvesham Marganam Prakar Jnanam Vina Swamargo Utkarsh Jnanam Ati Shubdam Na Bhavati. So he says that he has understood this Bhagavad Vakyat, that this thing has become very clear to Uddhava. So why is he asking now about dhyan? That please tell me how the mumukshus meditate, means the path of Jnana Yoga. What is the need for this? Or path of Ashtanga Yoga? So he says that सर्वेषां मार्गाणां प्रकार ज्ञानं विना स्वमार्ग उत्कर्ष ज्ञानं न अति शुद्धम bhavati. So he says that unless you understand other paths, their process, their end result, then you do not become knowable, or you don't have the knowledge how great is your own path, and then feel happy about it. Means feel satisfied with that. So therefore it is also important to know other processes and understand your path. So this is not only to feel that I am better than others, it's not to make us proud like that, but it makes us more fixed on our path. Then we are not deviated when we hear the glories of others. Because many times you see that people, the speakers, they are speaking. Bhaktamal is very popular, one book. And then things are getting glorified. Even there may be devotees, or there may be mixed devotees or jnanis. Lot of talk about renunciation. Even for devotees, so much renunciation is glorified. So then what happens? You may also become deviated by that. So for that reason it is very important to understand not only your own process, but also of others. Of course it requires a lot of work. It is good enough to understand your own process properly, but it is also better to have knowledge of others. So Bhagavatam therefore gives that. So this is the reason why Krishna is speaking about this. In 11th canto, you come to know about karma was spoken already in the very beginning when there was talk of Navayogendra with King Nimi. Bhakti also came. But Gyan is also very, very much spoken. The Kapil Dev also spoke in the 3rd canto. So 3rd canto and 11th canto, these are very important because both Kapil Dev and Sri Krishna, they speak on different processes. Lord Kapila also speaks on Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all that. And here Krishna speaks also in much detail. So therefore he says, Prakaram vina swamarga utkarsh jnana jnanamati shubdam na bhavati iti bhavena moksha kankshino dhyana bhaktehe prakaradin picchati. So with this intention he is asking the dhyan bhakti of mumukshu. So he is asking about the meditation process, which is also bhakti, because this meditation is on Bhagwan, but it is done by a mumukshu, by a person who is seeking moksha, which means Brahma Sahajya here. This is not moksha of going to Vaikuntha. So that's what will be described here. So for that prakaradin pichati, for that he is asking what is the process. Yatha iti tatra prakara prashna. So there are 3 words which are used here, yatha, yadrisham and yadatmakam. So he says yatha means prakar prashna, that what is the type of meditation, because meditation is also various types. And yadrisham, so dhyaya vishayas prashna. So yadrisham means what is the object of meditation. And yadatmakam iti dhyaya swarup prashna. And yadatmakam is about the swarupa, about the personality of the object of meditation. Atra me iti yasya panuruktyaad evam vyakhayam. So according to him, instead of the word tvam, the word me is there. That's why he says that there is a repetition of the word me, because me also came. Dhyayen mumukshur etan me, dhyanam me. So he says that why the word me has been repeated here. So he says it should be explained in the following way. So yatha mumukshustvam dhyayeta tanme vaktumarhasi. So one is that you please describe to me how a mumukshu, person looking for moksha, meditates. So that is one. And nanu mumukshor dhyanena prishtena tav ekantika bhaktasya kim tasmat. So if Krishna asks that why are you so much interested about what mumukshu meditates on, you are an ekantik bhakta, so why are you asking? So then says yatha tvam aham dhyayami tadvati evam pricyatam. You should ask me that how can I meditate on you. So you should ask me that. So then he says ityaha me mam tu etat dhyanam iti sanghat pani dvaina tasya charanadvam darshati. Dhyanam tvam tumarasi iti partasam. So then the second part, then he says that me dhyanam. So he says that my dhyan is this, your lotus feet. I don't need to ask you. So therefore, this is the way it can be understood if the me is there. Means vaktum arhasi will go, dhyayet mumukshur etam, me vaktum arhasi, and dhyanam tvam. No, tvam is not there, dhyanam me, that my meditation is on you. So this is how it is applied. And then he says, if the reading is tvam, that means he had both reading. Me mamatu etad dhyanam iti sanghat pani dvaina taschanadam dhyanam tvam vaktum arhasi iti partha sugma. If instead of me the reading is tvam, then there is no problem in description. Then he simply says that you please explain to me. Anupam, क्या है तुम्हारा?
Babaji, here when he glosses the word yadrisham and yadatmakam, he says yadrisham iti dhye vishesh prashna and yadatmakam iti dhye swarup prashna. So this dhye vishesh means the qualities of the dhyan which are not the swarup, which are the lakshana, which are the tatastha lakshana, which are not the swarup lakshana.
No, just person on whom to meditate. You can meditate on Shiva, you can meditate on Vishnu, so many. So who is the Dheya? And then what is the Swarupa of Dheya?
So what is the difference? I could not
Just one is the name, Baba, one is just whom to meditate. Say meditate on Vishnu. And then he says, what is his Swarup? He says, forehand, lotus eyes, this, that. That is Yadatmakam. श्री भगवान उवाच समय आसन आसीन समकायो यथा सुखम हस्तौत्संग आधाय स्वनासाग्र कृतेक्षण. So Sri Krishna is now describing the process of meditation. So first he says that how the meditator has to meditate. So he has to sit down. So samaya asana, sama asane asina. So you sit down on a flat seat, not uneven. Even seat means it should be comfortable, not that after some time your legs or some body part starts aching. And samkayo yatha sukham. And you should have your body samkaya, means straight. It should not be bent, not lying down, not standing. And it should be yatha sukham. So which type of asana? So it doesn't necessarily has to be lotus pose or siddhasana or anything. Whichever is, without any difficulty. So that is acceptable. Primary thing is that you sit straight with your head, neck, as Krishna has also described, samakaya siro grivam dharyan achalam stiram. So you kaya, siro and griva, body, neck, head straight, and achala should not move rocking up, down, side, left, this way, that way. So that is the meaning of samkaya. And hasta utsanga adhaya. And put your hands in your lap. So there are also, you have that Gyan Mudra, putting your hands on your knees, but it says you can also put your hands in your lap. And Svanasagra Kritekshana. And then you have to look at the tip of your nose. So that's a very difficult thing. After some time you'll get a headache. So Nasagra means just a little bit in front. Otherwise, after some time you'll have crooked eyes. Meditate on this. So Uttaramaha, Sri Krishna is replying, Samayityadina, Dhyanang Bhuta Asana Nirupanam Yam Niyamo Rupa Lakshanam. No, this is different. So Svanasagra Kritekshana iti Chittasthairyaya. So why is saying that you should put your vision in front of the nose or tip of the nose? So he says this is to make your mind stable. You have to fix your eyes on something. If you don't fix it on something and you keep on moving them, okay, your body is stable but you can still move your eyes, then mind will also remain unstable. So therefore that is the idea, that just look front, not side, this way, not up, down, somewhere. So he says, Antar Laksho Bahir Drishtihi Sthirachitta Susanyata iti Yoga Shastra Ukte. In the Yoga Shastra, it is described that Antar Laksha Bahir Drishti. So your Laksha is inside and Drishti is outside. So if you close your eyes, then tendency to fall asleep. So therefore he says, keep the eyes open. Generally people meditate with closed eyes. So he says, but your dhyan is inside, as he will describe. So this is to make the sthira chitta, make your mind fixed, stable, not flickering here and there. Then what is to be done after that? So he says, Pranasya sodhyen margam puraka kumbhaka rechakai viparyayena pi sanairabhyashet nirjitendriya. So he says that now you do pranayam first. So pranasya shodhyen margam. So this pranayam is to purify the pathways of prana. Prana is moving in the body, so they have to be purified. There is mala, there are impurities in them. And this is to be purified by Pura, Kumbhaka, Rechaka. Puraka, Kumbhaka, Rechaka. These are the three types. So Puraka means filling up the air inside, like you fill the balloon. And then Kumbhaka means holding it. And Rechaka means throwing it out. So this has to be done. And this is to be done Viparyayena api. Then also in the converse order. So there are two ways. One is that you breathe in and the hold inside, do the Purak. That is called Anta Kumbhak. And then release. Another is that you do the Rechaka, you throw the air out and then hold. So that is Bahya Kumbhaka. And then breathe in, then breathe out and hold and breathe in. So this is Viparyaya. Or Viparyaya means that you start with the Ida, the left nostril, fill in the air, hold, release with the right nostril, then fill in with the right, hold, release. Or you start from the right and do it. That is Viparyaya. So he says, Sanair Abhyaset Nirjitendriya. So he says slowly you practice this and with control of the senses. So control of the senses is not just at that time the senses are obviously controlled, you are not doing anything else. If you are sitting and doing pranayam, what else can you do? So this Nirjitendriya means that other time you control your senses. So this includes all those yama niyama. That is understood here. So yama niyama, asana and pranayam. So this pranayam is being described. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur doesn't write much on these slokas. Viparyena rechaka puraka kumbhaka kramena. So viparyena means by doing first rechak, then kumbhak, then purak. Means first breathe out, hold, then breathe in. So more details are given in the Yoga Shastra. Now he talks about the meditation with the pranayam. He says, Hridaya vichinnam omkaram ghanta nadam vishornuvat pranena udirya tatratha punah samveshayet swaram. So he says, Hridaya vichinnam omkaram ghanta nadam vishornuvat pranena udirya. He says that you have to now uplift the sound of Omkara, which is like the ringing of a bell, and pull it up from Mooladhara up to the heart chakra. Just like the lotus stem has got this fine thread, Vishornavat. So like that you bring it up to the heart chakra, pranena udirya tatratha, and punah samveshayet swaram. And then you mix it with swara. So little bit of commentary he gives here. He says Hridayati. He says Mooladharad Arabhya. So beginning from the Mooladhara. So Mooladhara is that is the first chakra, base chakra. Avichinnam santatam ghantanad tulyam omkaram. So he says there is a unbroken sound of omkara, like the ringing of the bell. It's like when you ring the bell, if you hit it, then there is a vibration, reverberations which go on for some time. So like that there is sound of Om. We also read it earlier when Krishna was speaking, how he gave the Vedic knowledge, right? And then he also described this is how also the sound manifests in human beings, starting from Mooladhara. So there also it was described as a nada there. So he says, this you bring and make it situated in the heart. Pranena udiriyam urdhvam. So you bring it up with the help of prana into the heart. Dvadas angul paryantam nitva. So bring it up, which is 12 fingers above the Mooladhara. Katham, how is to be done? He says Vishornavat Kamalanala Tantuvat. He said just like the fine thread in the stem of the lotus. At punas tatra swaram nadam bindum va samveshet stri kuryat. And then he says you make the nada, which is also called bindu, as stable there. So he is only saying make it stable there, tatra. Some say that it has to be taken to the top of the head. Different explanation given. So he says tatra omkare matra tite dvadas matram atikramya bhavite panchadasam matrikayam Akaradārabhya gananāyam panchadasamiti bindu rupa manuswara sangyam. At punariti akshar chatuskasya iti arthamidam vivanam. Says tam onkar rupam prathamam uchchāryan dvadas matra atite sabindam uchchāryan dhyayate. Giving a whole process that you have to recite onkara for dvadas matra, 12 unit of time. Matra is what you take 1 unit when you speak the small vowel, long vowel 2 matra. Ek matra bhaved hrasva dvimatra dirgham uchyate. 3 matra pulta gaya. So that is what matra means here. Anyway, some process. Evam pranav sanyuktam pranam eva samabhyashet daskritva trishravanam masa darvag jitanila. So he says in this way one should practice pranayam along with pranava, the omkara, chanting of the om. And you should do it 10 times, 3 times a day. Morning, noon time, in the evening, sandhya time. Masa darvag jitanila. If you practice it for 1 month, you will have control over the prana. Easy. No problem. Masa darvag, masa bahire. So just 1 month, not much. And then comes the meditation. So this was the pranayam part. Once you have become adept in this, then meditation is described. So this is a meditation on Vishnu, 400 form. Hrita pundrika mantastham urdhunala madho mukham dhyatva urdhamukham unnidra ashtapatram sakarnikam. So the chakras, they have petals on them. All the Mooladhara chakra, Swadhisthana chakra. So there is Hrit Pundrik, the heart chakra is like a lotus. But for people in general, these lotuses are not blooming. They are closed and they are upside down. So he says, Hrit Pundrikam antastham urdhvanalam adhomukam. That heart chakra is now like urdhamulam adhasakam, udhanalam adhomukham. That it is, the bottom part is up, top part is down. So it has to be meditated upon, that you turn it upside down. So therefore it says dhyatva urdhamukham unnidram. That by meditation you turn the upside down. You do that and make it bloom. Unnidra means not sleeping. Nidra means sleeping, means nidra means awake, which means blooming. So the petals are open. And there are 8 petals. So ashtam, ashtapatram. And there is a karnika at the bottom. So that is meditation. Hrit Pundrikam manaeva kamlam tacha bahirapi yati iti vyavarteti antastham. So he says this lotus in the heart, this is the mind, which is described here in the form of a lotus. Says that mind also goes outside, but here it says keep it inside. Dehantarvarti urdhunalam adhomukham. So now it is upside down, so turn it. Mukalitam cha kadalipaspa sankasham yadasti. So he says it is like the banana flower. Have you seen banana flower, how it is hanging? It is small at the top and bigger at the bottom. So when you have to turn it upside down and then open. So that's what it says to do. Says tad viparitam dhyayet. Meditate in the opposite direction. Nyaset sanchintayet. Then Next verse says that Karnikayam Nyaset Surya Somagni Agnin Uttarottaram Vanni Madhye Smred Rupam Mama Etad Dhyana Mangalam. Then at the center of it, Karnika, then you should meditate that there is sun, then there is moon, then there is fire, and in the center of fire, I am there. Sarupam Mama Etat Dhyana Mangalam. Then you should meditate on my form, which is very auspicious for meditation. So he is in the center of the fire. Sunyaset means meditate. There is no other comment on this. Then he describes the form, the Swarupa. Samam prashantam sumukham dirghacharu chaturbhujam sucharu sundar grivam sukopolam suchi smitham. So he is very balanced, very peaceful, has a beautiful face, and he has very nice 4 arms, long, going up to the knees, and he has a very beautiful neck and very nice cheeks and very pleasant smile. So this is how you meditate on him. Samam anurupa avyayam prasantam anugram. So samam means that all his bodily limbs are very much in shape, proportionate, and prasantam means that he is not agitated, he is very peaceful. Then samana karna vinyasta sphurana makara kundalam hemambaram ghanasyamam srivatsa sriniketanam. Then he has nice 2 ears, and there is beautiful earrings, makar kundal, which are say saman, equal size, and he has hemambaram, golden dress. Golden dress means golden color, not made of gold, and ghanashyamam, and his body is blackish blue, and Srivatsa Sriniketanam. He has sign of Srivatsa and Lakshmi, left side Lakshmi, right side Srivatsa on his chest. And Sankha Chakra Gada Padma Vanmali Vibhushitam Nupurai Vilasat Padam Kaustubha Prabhayayatam. In the 4 hands he has conch, disc, club, lotus, and he is decorated with nice vanmala, garland made with 5 types of flowers. And Nupurai Vilasat Padam, on his feet he has got anklets, and he has Kaustubha on his neck, Kaustubha Prabhayayatam, which is very shining. So this is how the meditation has to be. Srivatsa Sriyau Vaksho Dakshina Vamasthe Nitram Ketane Asadharana Chinhe Yasya Tat Ayutam Samantad Alankritam. So he says that he is beautified by the marks of Srivatsa, which is basically a type of hair in oval shape, and Lakshmi on the left side like a streak of golden hair on the left side of his chest. So he says these are the asadharana chinna. In Vaikuntha everybody has got 4 hands, everybody has got golden dress, same color, but these 2 marks only Vishnu has, no one else. So these are the asadharana chinna. So this is the lakshana, right? So this is what you can recognize. Yasya tat ayutam samantad alankritam. So he is decorated with all these things. And Dhyumata Kirita Kataka Kati Sutrangadayitam So he has also shiny helmet, bracelets, and he has got nice belt on his hips. This is also described here. Sarvang sundaram hridyam prasada sumukhe kshanam sukumaram abhidhyayet sarvangeshu manodadhat. So all his bodily limbs are very beautiful, and hridyam means they are very appealing to the heart. Prasada sumukhe kshanam, and his looks, they are very pleasurable, as if he is blessing everybody. Sukumaram, his body is very tender. So he says in this way one should meditate. So first he says that sarvangeshu manodadhat dhyayet, that one should meditate on all the limbs of Bhagavan. So it is described that you start from the feet, then go up, meditate on each limb of him. Sandra dhyanartham manasaya ekagram prakaramaha indriyani. No commentary on this. So indriyani indriyarthebhyo manasa krishya tanmanah buddhya sarthina dhira pranayed mai sarvatah. So he says that you should pull back your mind and the senses from all the sense objects. Pull back all the senses from all sense objects with the help of your mind. And then that mind you have to control with your buddhi. Buddhi is the sarathi. Buddhim tu sarathim vidyat. Mano pragraham evacha. Mind are the ropes. Buddhi is the driver. So, and the horses, indriyani hayanyahu. Horses are the senses. So control the senses with the mind, then control the mind with your buddhi, and dhira pranayet mai sarvata, and then bring the buddhi on him from all sides. So this is the process. Sandra dhyanartham manasa ekagre prakaramaha. So for intense meditation, he is describing the process, that how to meditate. So you have to manasa ekagram, you have to focus the mind. Indriyani chakshuradini vishyabhyo rupadibhyo. So you have to pull back the eyes, ears, etc. from their respective objects such as form and sound. Sakashat manasa akrishya. So that is with the help of mind. Manshi eva pranayet. So bring everything into the mind. Tanmanaha buddhya akrishya. Then that mind has to be pulled by the intelligence. Mai sarvataha sarvang yukta pranayet pakarshena nayet. And then fix the mind on me completely on all the limbs. Tat sarvvyapakam chittam akrishya ekatra dharyet nanyani chintayed bhuya susmitam bhaviyen mukham. So he says tat sarvvyapakam chittam akrishya ekatra dharyet. He says that chitta, or the mind which is all around, sarvvyapakam. So pull it and focus only on one part. Nanyani chintayet. Do not think of anything else. And then he says bhuya susmitam bhaviyen mukham. And finally just meditate on my face and not on all the parts of the body. So gradually coming to the face. So sarvyapakam sarvangesu sancharat chittam. So previously he said you meditate on the various limbs, and now he says that you pull that mind also which is meditating on different parts, just fix it on one part and then finally fix it on the face. Tatra labdha padam chittam akrishya vyomni dharyet tachya tyaktva madaroho nakinchidapi chintayet. And now here comes the Gyan mark. So he says, now give up me also. Don't meditate on me. He says, Tatra labdha padam chittam akrishya vyomni dharyet. So mind which has become focused on my face, labdha padam means is fixed. He says, remove it from there also and bring it to the sky. Vyomni dharyet. And tachya tyaktva madarohe na kinchit api chintayet. And then you give up that also. So from there also pull and don't think of anything else, because he has to bring it to Brahman. That is the meditation. Evam samahitamatir mameva atmana atmani vichastaya mayi sarvatman jyotir jyotisi sanyutam. So he says, in this way, when the mind has become focused, then think of mameva atmanam atmani. That think of Brahman inside yourself. Mam eva atmanam atmani. And then see the complete thing on me. Sarvatman mai jyotir jyotisi sanyitam. So just like you have the small light and then you mix it into the full light. So
Babaji, you're reading the wrong one, I think. Not reading Vishwanath.
I'm reading the sloka here. So now see the commentary. So Labdha Padam, verse 44. So he says, Tato anyatra agachat tatraiva stri bhutam. So Labdha Padam means the mind is not going anywhere else, but has become fixed there only. That was on the face. Tatascha tatra mukh dhyana eva labdha padam mukh dhyanam ajahadeva. So then he has attained status on the meditation of the mind, and mukh dhyanam ajahadeva, not giving up the meditation on the face. Akrishya dehendriyadibhya prithakritya natu dhyan bhakterapi prithakritya. And now you take away this from the body and senses, but not from the meditation or dhyan bhakti. Vyomni akashe dhariyet. So fix it on the sky. Tatascha tatchittam api tyaktva madarohe mai brahmani arudhasan. And then now you fix the mind on my Brahman form. What is that? Only he can know. Na kinchit abhi chittayat. Brahman has no form. Kintu bhakti kanika yukto jiva brahmaiva anubhavet. So he says that being endowed with a drop of bhakti, think that the jiva itself is Brahman. That is the meditation. Sri Hansdevena gunachetasa styago ya uktastasya evam eva prakara iti geya. So that Hamsa who spoke to the Kumaras, Hamsa avatar, where he said that you have to remove the guna and cheta, because that was the question by the Kumaras, that the gunas are in the cheta and cheta is in the guna. How can you untangle? So he says you meditate on Brahman and give up both. So he says this is the meditation which is being described here. And bhaktyardriyarpit mana na prithag vikshediti Sri Kapil Devokto. Kapil Dev also described this type of meditation in 3rd canto, 20th chapter. कर्म ज्ञानादि त्यागस्य इव ध्यान भक्ति त्यागस्य तत्यागिच्छायाश्च निषिद्धत्वात्. So he said, just like you have to give up karma and jnana, this dhyan bhakti is not to be given up. Kintu dhyanamayi bhavet evam iti samahita samadhiyukta matiriyasya samameva brahma atmani jivatmani vichaste. So first see the Brahman in the Jivatma, Atmanam cha sarvatmani mai sanyuktam vichaste, and then see oneself into the Brahman. So basically no distinction which is Brahman, which is Jiva. Jiva is in Brahman, Brahman is in Jiva. So that's how you have to see. So Sanyutam Brahma Jivi or Aprakrita Sviya Purna Jyoti Jyoti Kanatvam Gyapitam. So he says, by this example of small light and complete light, it has been shown that the Brahman is the full light, all pervading, and the Jiva is the Kana or one atom of that. And that is the significance of this. Let's complete this. Dhyanena itham sutivrena yunjato yogino mana sanyasyati asu nirvanam dravya jnana kriyashrama. He says, in this way, by this intense type of meditation, the yogi's mind becomes united with Brahman, and then he attains nirvana, nirvanam sanyasyati asu, and he becomes completely free from dravya jnana kriya brahma, that there's objects, there's experience of them, activities, this is all Brahma. Iti Śrīmad-Bhāgavata Mahapurane Paramhansam Samhitayam Ekadas Skandha Chaturdasa Adhyaya. This is the end of 14th chapter. Evam bhuta samadhi pariyanta dhyanasya phalamaha. So in this last verse, the outcome of this meditation in the form of samadhi is being described. Dhyaneniti. Yunjata samadhata dravya jnana kriyashu adhibhut adhidev adhyam subhrama adhyas rupa nirvanam shantim samagyati yashas. So this dravya jnana and kriya is referring to body, senses and experience, this adhibhut adhidev adhyatma. So this identification with the body or senses or mind, all this is completely given up and one becomes liberated. Brahma Sayujya. Iti sarartha darshinyam harshinyam bhakta chetasam ekadase sangata. Sangato abhut chaturdasa. This is the end of sarartha darshini, 14th chapter.
How does the lotus in the heart chakra, how does it get turned upside down?
Meditation.
No, how does it get turned the wrong, like are we born with it the wrong way?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you're not a yogi, then it's closed.
So everybody...
By meditation you have to open it. Chakras are closed.
They're closed and they're basically upside down, and everybody's kind of born like that because of
Unless
the
you
material
have done
condition.
some yoga in the past life.
Okay.
Okay, Vilas.
This second last verse here, it reminds me of the Bhagavad Gita. There Krishna instructs very similarly. He says, Atma samstham manah kritva na kinchidapi chintayet. And could you please explain what he means in Bhagavad Gita, and whether there's a difference between this instruction here to meditate on Brahman and Gita, where he says you meditate on the Atma?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
There also is talking about Brahma. Anupam.
Babaji, can you please explain clearly the verse number 34?
What 34?
Hridaya-vichinnam omkaram ghantanadam visornam.
You have to meditate.
Even the Hindi translation is very confusing.
So you have to meditate from Muladhara and bring the sound up to the heart through meditation.
But the sound is all pervading, right? They say that Ganta.
Yeah, but you have to, now it is happening, whatever is happening you don't know, you have to meditate like that. Just like they do Kundalini meditation and they'll uplift the Kundalini from Muladhara. So he's talking about the sound. This is Nada Yoga. That is Kundalini Yoga. So it says Ghanta Nadam. Bhushan.
Worship Rams, I have two questions. The first question is that the dhyan on Shri Vishnu. So, the doubt in my mind is like when the yogi is doing the dhyan, the beautiful face of Vishnu will create a vritti of like pleasure or some kind of attachment or rag, right? Because beautiful face of Vishnu. But dhyan is supposed to have no vritti. So how does these two things work?
What do you mean?
Because if you meditate on Vishnu, emotion will come from there.
Dhyan is not have vritti, what do you mean?
Because dhyan means that the mind is very, there is no waves and the mind is like very still. It's focused.
But
There
that
is
is,
no waves in that mind.
so that is a
But
vritti. Why that is
so
not a
but,
vritti?
there is no emotion also, right?
Emotion depends. If you have devotion, you have emotion. If no devotion, there is no emotion.
Okay, so here it assumes that the yogi has no devotion because even if he is seeing Vishnu, it does not.
Yeah, his path is not bhakti. He's doing this so that he can get Brahma Sayujya.
Okay.
That's why it says
Yeah,
bhakti.
the second. Okay, the second question is that in Sri Vaishnava tradition they have this only that Vijjas can do meditation on Sri Narayan, the upper three Varnas, the Vijjas. So here also does it kind of imply that because a high degree of sattva guard is required, one needs to be born in a Varnashrama dharma, and one needs to be, let's say, Brahmana or Vija, one of the higher Varnas, to be able to be qualified to do the yoga does it imply this?
What this has to do with Brahmana or anything, I don't know.
Okay, okay. So this one doesn't have any such restrictions.
Yoga is not based on that. Sandeep.
Babaji Maharaj, so basically he's in this meditation process, he's saying that you take this object, like you concentrate on Om and then Vishnu's face will come. But then concentrate on Vishnu's face. So we do this Nam Japa, so it is also called Nam Dhyan. So you meditate on the name. So is it this Nam Dhyan can be equated like the process is described here?
How?
In the sense you keep doing Nam Dhyan. And because I have also read somewhere that from Nam comes Root, then Gun, then Dita.
But did he say like that here, that from that it will come? He's saying you meditate like that. He didn't say that it will come.
But initially he said about concentrating on Om. Omkara you concentrate.
But did he say that by concentrating on Om, then Vishnu will manifest? Did he say that? He said that you meditate, and then you meditate on my form, and he describes the form.
So that's different. Nam Dhyan. Nam Japa is basically Dhyan.
That is dhyan, but there are so many types of dhyan. How you are relating this with Nam Dhyan, I don't know. He said pranayam, then he says now go to Muladhara Chakra, then come up. How you equate with Nam Japa, I don't know.
I was equating in the sense that you concentrate on Om, you do that Ucharan of Om, and then Roop. And then because it is a Gyan mark, so you give up the Roop and Naam or Roop nikal kar, then you.
तुम काहे को जबरदस्ती घुसाना चाह रहे हो यार, मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा क्या परेशानी क्या है.
नहीं तो मेरे को ऐसे लग रहा है कि जैसे नाम ध्यान से भी तो रूप आएगा.
But why are you trying to equate? This is a different process. So what if it comes? Why you want to put this and that same? I don't understand. It's a different process. He already said that, please tell me how the mumukshus attain moksha. It's a different path. Okay, anything? हो गया? Vilas?
Maybe one small thing. So about this Yoshit Sangi Sangasya, yeah. So you explained that attachment is positive and negative, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, he's instructing that I should avoid being attached, meaning I should avoid liking and disliking those who are attached, meaning those who like or dislike women in this case. Is that right?
Both will lead to the downfall. Simple. Okay.
Okay.